Hi. Well, as you can see, I'm not able to make it to class today. I'm currently at NEI Nationals. Nevertheless, I will be helping with this presentation via video camera. Alright, the part that I'm here to discuss today is how the article relates to the story of Boston Beer. First, we'll discuss the 5 parts of the article that were key notes in that he actually exemplified every single time throughout the story. First is self-awareness. Self-awareness being, of course, the ability to know your own strengths and your own flaws and to exploit your strengths and to build on your flaws or avoid them altogether. Second is self-regulation. This is the ability to hang tough in adverse times, the fact that you can control your emotions, and the fact that you're able to roll with the punches and just change when change is needed and not to get offended by it. Third is motivation. This is coming from within. This is drive. This is the passion. This is the vision that it took to build this company from nothing to one of the best beer companies in the world. Fourth being empathy. This, he was empathizing with the customer, the actual source of all his revenues. And he did this in ways where he would make sure that the customer was liking what he was putting out, thus ensuring his own success. And social skills is the culmination of everything, and how, because of the rapport that he built, he was able to keep his company stable while other companies would have buckled. Alright. First, seeing how self-awareness matches up to this, he knew that he had a good idea with his beer. He believed that his beer was superior to many of the foreign beers that were being offered, and he wanted to get his out there to prove it, and he was willing to follow through even though he had to charge more. He knew in his heart that his beer would eventually win the public over. Second is self-regulation. There were a lot of times where their company was in question. There were times where microbreweries would pop up and competition would spring out of nowhere, and all of a sudden their stock value would drop. Because of that, a lot of people would just either sell to a bigger company or get out of the game. But he stuck to his guns. He stayed true to what he did best, which was making beer, and eventually everything leveled itself out. Third is motivation. This is important because this is his drive. This is when he was still working for the consulting firm, and he knew that he had a good recipe on his hands, and he was studying the market, and he wanted to put a beer out there that was competitive with all the foreign beers, which is up until that point had never been done. Fourth is empathy. This is the point where he knows that he needs to put out a product that's friendly to the public. He doesn't just want to shove something down their throats that's going to make them think that, hey, this guy doesn't really care about what we're drinking, he's just giving it to us. He actually put out blind taste tests. He put himself and his name and his company on the line by offering them to have the chance to taste his beer versus other foreign beers and taste for themselves. And it worked out in his favor, actually. And fifth is just the social skills. It all culminated. The fact that he would go around to smaller bars around and actually just web his way out across the country little by little. That built good rapport with everybody he was supplying to. Just his overall vision and the fact that he stuck to it is a great success story, and I hope that we all take motivation from that. Next is our motivations. Our motivations, recommendations. Sorry, talking to a camera, a little bit harder than it looks. Alright, well, our recommendations are keep thinking win-win. His overall strategy at the beginning was think win-lose, which he just wanted to take away from the foreign competition, and it was really aggressive, and it was good for an opening strategy, but eventually he's going to have to stick to the guns that he gave himself. And the fact is, his reputation in the public and the quality of his product is all he really needed. And the fact that he's thinking win-win by contracting with outside brewers, he's actually saving a lot of money which he can put into his marketing, which, if you flip on any TV show, especially during a Super Bowl game or just any football game in general, you'll always see a Sam Adams commercial about them sticking to their guns and using better products than everybody else. And that's a really key element here. Next is just stick to the plan. No matter what, when the going gets tough, stick to the plan. That's what he did best. There's a lot of companies out there that'll just put out a different kind of beer, or they'll try a different specialty beer or some kind of gimmick when the going gets tough. But he stuck to it. Boston Lager. That's where he made his money. That's what he needed, and that's what he stuck to, and that pulled him through the tough times. That got his stock back over $20 when it dropped down to $8. Rather than trying to keep to all the little specialty flavor beers and run with what everybody else was doing, he just stuck to the plan. And I really hope that everybody takes a note from this. If you're good enough at something, people will come to it no matter what. Well, those are my 2 points. Hopefully Doug has the questions in check. And I will see you in a couple weeks. So thanks for listening, maybe, and feel free to browse my other videos online if you like. I'll see you guys later.